ethos of Calendar as a nightly event is exactly the same.
Every day was a joy. Hard, tough. We treated news very seriously.
It's always exciting to film something new. It was marvellous.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Queen's Hotel here in Leeds.
Well, one of my great memories of Calendar Sport was interviewing Richard Dunn, the Bradford boxer who was the British heavyweight champion, in his hotel room in Munich on the night before he fought Muhammad Ali for the heavyweight championship of the world. He got knocked out in the 5th round. In fact, he got knocked down in every single round, but he got up every single time, showed amazing Yorkshire grit. Ali was full of praise for him, and afterwards Richard was all smiles because he got enough money to buy himself a nice hotel in Scarborough.
I always liked doing the big sort of featurey film type things that we did for Calendar. We used to have sort of separate crews who did the longer reports, and I used to love doing those.
What's the appeal of it for you? Because it's down the valley from where you used to live,
yes,
isn't
it is, but it's rather... I'm not often enough as I would like to be up here.
We did a feature about Hannah Hawkswell, who of course was a fantastic character and also the subject of a very successful Yorkshire Television documentary series. What an extraordinary woman. I think that was one of the most wonderful things about being a reporter, was meeting people who in your normal life you may never come across.
Why do you take the job?
Well, because I thought it was the best job in the country.
Of course it was the best job in the country.
I was taking over the league champions.
I was just happened to be the one interviewer who was still sober and there. All I had to do was sit there and admire the ping pong in front of me. Ping pong, throwing in an occasional question, which usually came to me through the earpiece, and trying to guide my footsteps through a world of football I knew very little about, to be quite honest.
There were a number of individual warnings to householders to take especial care and don't approach any strangers.
Hi, I'm Robert Hall. I was a reporter and occasional presenter with Calendar, first in Grimsby and then in Leeds. There were still trawlers on the North Wall when ITV took the PR photos. One of them made us look as if we worked in a war zone. Maybe we did. The crew were Ken and Des. They're no longer with us now, but there were other familiar faces too. The Scunthorpe stringer Harold Kane and dispatch rider Les, who took the film over to Leeds. It was all great fun and, I think, local television at its best. So thank you, Calendar, and happy birthday.
Wonderful days. I look back at my time at Calendar with great fondness. It was a terrific time and a great learning ground for me, really. Being a Yorkshire girl, there's nowhere better to work.
I got the call, would I go pick up the helicopter, Kirchdale Road, and fly over Flixborough. It was like something out of a war film. There was smashed up buildings everywhere. I guess I must have been the first person to fly over it. And as a young man, it was one of the biggest stories that I'd been involved with up to that time.
As we arrived here at Malton Police Station, things were beginning to happen. Police were out with rifles and they seemed to be looking just across the road over to the Sports Pavilion.
Marilyn was very funny. A lot of us wore contact lenses for the autocue. And when we'd finish the Calendar, we'd come back upstairs to the newsroom to our desks to and we'd take out our contact lenses and Marilyn would take her makeup off. And she used to joke that in a parallel universe, you'd come back after a show and you'd actually not just take your contacts out, you'd unscrew your hand, you'd take off the prosthetic leg, and actually you'd completely disassemble yourself as a presenter because you were a construct. She was very funny. I was very fond of Marilyn, and I was very sad to hear of her death.
Hello from the cliff top in Scarborough. I'm speaking to you live. Well, I don't know if you probably saw that. And it says it all. It says it all.
I think about Richard Whiteley and I could cry now.
You won't have Tricky Dicky to kick around anymore, Krista.
He always used to be saying to me, "Where's Richard?" I don't know where Richard is. And he walked in live and he said, "Oh, sorry, I'm late. I've just been watching a rerun of Countdown." And that's the kind of fun and joy and eccentricity. And that's what I think was the same too of Mike Morris. Mike Morris was a true eccentric.
Fantastic, you could swear they were mining. Absolutely.
He could make me laugh till I absolutely 8. I miss them both. They were both taken too soon.
Well, I've been forecasting the weather for Yorkshire Television for in excess of 25 years now, and there's been lots of weather in that time. Gales, blizzards, droughts, thunderstorms, flash flooding, you name it. But not long after we'd been on air, about 8 months in fact, the main transmitter fell over due to ice gathering on the guy ropes, and as the wind blew, the ice proved to be too heavy for the guy ropes. The transmitter fell down and suddenly we were off air. Now, it only took 28 days to build another temporary one. We were back on air, and at the same time they built the concrete one that we're familiar with now, and that's still standing proud, transmitting the pictures from Yorkshire Television that we see today.
So it was a 6-month contract that has now spanned some 27 years. Of course, always a calendar girl, but very fortunate too to work on regional features, which took me all around the world, because Yorkshire people do some extraordinary things. I spent some time off the coast of South Africa cage diving, all because of the deep in Hull. I also spent a week with the British Army, who were based in Catterick, when they were in Kenya doing relief work. What's not to like? 400 soldiers and just me.
I was in Morrison's, other supermarkets are available. I was in Morrison's in Horsforth in Leeds, and a chap came up to me, and he was terribly excited to meet the man off the telly, grabbed hold of my arm very firmly. I said, must go and get his wife. So he called, just 2 aisles across, said, Vera, Vera, Chris Kiddy.
Well, little did I know when I walked through those doors as a 12-year-old all those years ago, how many stories I'd cover, from meeting presidents to talking to prime ministers. But I have to say, one of the funniest stories was meeting Mucky, the pool-playing dog from Bradford. Yes, you heard it right, a dog which played pool. The cameraman didn't believe it either. Sadly, the dog has long since died, and the pub has been knocked down. But Mucky's memory lives on.
Happy 50th anniversary calendar, and to all who sail in her.
Happy birthday, calendar. You know, 50 is not a bad age to be. I wish I was still in my 50s.
Happy 50th birthday, calendar and Yorkshire Television.
I'd like to wish all those who make the wonderful calendar and who watch it, you loyal viewers, a very, very happy 50th birthday.
Happy 50th birthday, calendar.